The Farsight Enclaves are a series of Tau-controlled worlds that function independently from the Tau Empire. They are located in the far right side of the Damocles Gulf, next to the Segmentum Ultima, and they are being led by the infamous Commander Farsight. Even without the numbers and resources of the Tau Empire, the Enclaves have built massive colony domes, moon bases, and even a powerful orbital defense station throughout their territory. The warriors of the Enclaves are some of the most rebellious of the Tau, completely dismissing ethereal rule and instead follow Farsight's goals. Now the renegade, or hero, Farsight, has attained a mastery of the Mandka, which is otherwise known as the killing blow style of warfare. This type of battle doctrine has bled into the martial culture of the Enclaves' fire warriors, and therefore these hot-blooded warriors are experts in close quarters combat, which is rather rare for a Tau. Now, even though the ethereals of the Tau Empire have labeled Farsight as a renegade and his Enclaves as the Forbidden Zone, many still see Farsight as a legendary hero. Alongside Commander Shadowstar and Shaso, Farsight was trained by the legendary Commander Purtide, and now his teachings are being passed down to the new generations of Enclave warriors. However, Farsight isn't the only hero to hail from the Enclaves. His legendary bodyguard, the Eight, have also many heroic feats to their names. They consist of Commander Bravestorm, Shasvre Ovesa, Commander Brightsword, Commander Shivastos, Shasvre Ablotai 9-0, Commander Arachon, and Sub-Commander Torchstar. And now, we welcome 5 new elite warriors who have also pledged their lives towards the Tau, who call the Enclaves their home. They are the 5 Embers, and in time they will ignite the fires of the future for the Farsight Enclaves. Now let's begin the lore on the 5 Embers, beginning with the defectors. Commander Shadowstar. So Commander Shadowstar is also known as Shaso Orna Vero, and he pilots the XV-86 Coldstar battlesuit. His armaments. He's usually tactically flexible, therefore he changes his weapons and war gear depending on the mission, but he always wields the high output burst cannon. His personality is rather stoic and stern, always out to complete the mission. Now let's jump into his lore. Before he defected from the Tau Empire, Vero was a hero to the Tau. He had a remarkable battle record during all of his missions, and he even managed to single-handedly take out a Necron royal court. The exact details are only known to him and a few ethereals, but this incredible feat earned him the title of Shaso. He was one of the few commanders who volunteered to test pilot the new XV-86 Coldstar battlesuits. But unfortunately for Vero, he suffered horrendous burns across most of his body when a malfunction occurred during his re-entry into orbit, and the Coldstar suit was to blame. Still, he favors the Coldstar above all other variants of battlesuit. Unbeknownst to the ethereals, Vero had been secretly aiding the Farsight Enclaves by sending them the newest technological innovations. Now he is officially defected and is now joined the Enclaves, for his presence has been an inspiration to the fire warriors there. With their morale bolstered, and with a battle-hardened veteran leading the charge, the Enclaves have increased their combat power practically tenfold. Now if you guys wish to wield the might of Commander Shadowstar in your 8th edition games, this is the rules that I've come up for him. So of course, he is a commander in XV-86 Coldstar battlesuit, meaning that his movements is a crazy 20 inches, weapon skill 3, BS 2, strength, toughness is all 5, wounds is 6, basically the same stat line as a commander in a Coldstar battlesuit. His signature system is the dynamic mirror field. I know this doesn't quite fit in with the Farsight Enclaves, however, but the dynamic mirror field, whenever an opponent targets him, they have to subtract 1 to hit. Now this is because he's such an expert pilot, he's been utilizing the Code Star for such a long time, he knows the ins and the outs, and therefore it's going to be a harder target for the enemy, so that kind of fits in lore-wise. When it comes to his Warlord trait, he's got the Exemplar of the Mandka, meaning he could advance and shoot as if he did in advance. Now the cool thing about this is when this guy advances, he moves 20 inches. So that is, he's going to be zipping all over the battlefield. When it comes to weapons and his support systems, he basically just has the high output burst cannon, and then you can equip him with anything else you need depending on the mission. So if you know you're going up against orcs, maybe some flamers, burst cannons, anti-infantry. If you're going to go tank hunting, obviously give him freaking fusion blasters. So yeah, that is how you would field Shadowstar on the battlefield, and that was his lore. So now we move on to the other defector, Commander Moondust. Shaso Vralas, aka Commander Moondust. She pilots an XV-8 Crisis battlesuit. Her armaments are quad fusion blasters. Her personality is generally serious, however she does have a very caring attitude towards her subordinates. Now let's get into her lore. During the Agrellan War, Commander Moondust's force was cut off from the main force, which was being led by Shadowsun, and the Skitarii were quick to ambush them. The Tau fought hard, but the mechanical bodies of the Martians were too resilient. Luckily for Moondust, the sky bled red that day, and the forces of Farsight made planetfall, saving the few remaining warriors. Shas El Vralas approached the commander of this force, Ironson, and exited her battlesuit. She knelt before her saviors and pledged her allegiance to the Enclaves. I had faith in the greater good, but I felt that I belong upon a different path. Before she could continue, Ironson spoke. Faith is a powerful force indeed, but we have our own faith in a mutual destiny that cannot be denied. Commander Ironson exited his battlesuit and took Moondust's arm. Together we'll see the sun rise in the Tau Empire. And with this, she was now inducted into the Enclaves' forces. But before we can continue on with Moondust's brighter-looking future, we have to go back to the past. More precisely, let's find out how this commander got her nickname. So the Tau were alerted of an incoming series of meteors which were headed directly towards one of their newly acquired planets. To their surprise, these were no ordinary meteors, but orc-infested rocks. Shas El Vralas' forces made landfall on the surrounding moons, and in a volley of missile pods and heavy rail rifle fire, the rocks were demolished. Under the shimmering dust, Shas El Vralas unloaded her quad fusion blasters into any surviving orcs. Upon the various moons they fought a great battle, thus giving her the nickname Commander Moondust. Now if you wish to wield the awesome might of utilizing 4 fusion blasters, this is how you'll run Commander Moondust in your games. So of course she has an XV-8 Crisis battlesuit, same stat line there, no big changes. Her Warlord trait, if she is your Warlord, is the Precision of the Hunter. With this Warlord trait she can reroll wound rolls of 1 against tanks and monsters, and in the lore this is kind of symbolized because she knows where to strike for bigger targets, the heavy hitters. She's trained alongside Commander Shadowsun when she was part of the Tau Empire. When she defected to the Enclaves, she was further trained into how to utilize her fusion blasters. So because of this, she's got a good sense of, where to strike, when to strike, and because of that, she's got the precision of the hunter. Her signature system is of course the fusion blades. She's got 4 fusion blasters, so let's make the best use of them, and of course that means she's got to wield freaking energy swords. So, after training alongside Commander Ironson, Moondust was finally able to utilize the mighty fusion blades to their full extent. Of course the Farsight Enclaves are all about close combat, So if you got fusion blasters, why not use fusion blades? So again, her weapons and support systems are 2 fusion blasters and the fusion blades. So basically you're paying for 4 fusion blasters, and then you're doing the signature system to upgrade 2 of them to the fusion blades. The recruit, Shaso Sulen, aka Commander Drone Dancer. She pilots the XV-85 Enforcer battlesuit. Her personality is nerdy. She's a scientist who loves to work on her drones, and the type of armament that she dons on her Enforcer suit is 3 burst cannons and a drone controller. Now, let's get into her backstory. Born in the Enclaves, Sulen is a ditzy, happy-go-lucky warrior who pilots the Enforcer battlesuit. She uses her suit's slim frame to outmaneuver her opponents, in tandem with her signature support system, the drones. No matter where she goes, she always has a drone alongside her, be it gun drone, shield drone, or marker drone. However, unbeknownst to her commanding officers, she has tinkered with the specs on her drone, bringing up the AI of them to near sentient levels. Some say that Sulen has been seen speaking to her drones, and even replying back to them. She quickly has climbed through the ranks of the Fire Warrior, so much so that she's caught the attention of the 8, Farsight's elite bodyguard. Rumor has it that on more than one occasion she's bested a few of the 8 during their sparring matches, although Commander Ironson is quick to deny these rumors. Of course, there is some truth to this, for one doesn't simply become a part of the 5 Embers. Her famed battle is one against the Eldari, where she single-handedly took out the mighty Wraith Knight by hijacking all of the nearest drones around her, and then she used them as makeshift shields in order to get close to the alien war engine. She then tore a hole into the war beast with her 3 mighty burst cannons, before having a swarm of drones enter and self-destruct within the night. On the battlefield, she is quite the spectacle to be seen, as she darts around, with her drones following suit. That is how she got the name, Drone Dancer. So with that being said, guys, that's pretty much the lore, the background, the history behind Shaso Sulen. So she's pretty cool. She's a ditzy, happy-go-lucky girl who's just out there to tinker with her drones and kick ass. Now, if you want to use her in your own 40k games, I will let you know exactly how she's got to be kitted out and what war gear and whatnot. So, she has to be inside a XV-85 Enforcer battlesuit. If she's your Warlord, she's got the ability through Unity Devastation, and that kind of just ties with her whole aspect of having drones around her, since with this trait, any unit within 6 inches of her, as long as they share the same sept, I believe it does 1 extra damage. It's either 1 extra damage or 1 extra AP. I don't remember exactly, but that's just, showing how she buffs herself as long as she's surrounded by drones. So, if you're shooting at somebody with your 3 burst cannons, and you've got a whole freaking, squad of drones, they're all going to be firing and hitting and doing damage. Because she has a drone controller, which I think buffs the BS of the drones by 1. So again, another pretty cool thing. Like I said before, she's got 3 burst cannons, the drone controller, and she always has her 2 AI boosted gun drones. So that's pretty cool about her. And then her signature system is the vectored maneuvering thrusters. Again, she dances across the battlefield, so she has more mobility, and with her signature system, that's what allows her to do it, basically giving her that old school jump, shoot, jump rule. Really awesome there. The one thing about this that kinda is a little is that I believe her signature system isn't the Farsight Enclaves one, so I guess you have to make an exception there. But usually when we play this on, between me and Gersh or the buddies and whatnot, I always make the home rule that, it counts as Farsight. Because the Farsight rule, it's not so good. But yeah, so that's how you would play her in your 40k games. Commander Ironson, aka Shaso Orindra. He tends to pilot the XV-8-02 Iridium battlesuit, but before piloting this suit, he did test drive the XV-89. His personality, he's very quick-witted and extremely devoted to Farsight and Farsight's goals. So now let's jump into how he became the awesome commander. Shaso Orindra has fought for the Tau for a long time. He had just become a commander when he was chosen to pilot the newly issued XV-89 battlesuit. He was then sent over to combat the Imperium during the Taros campaign to test out the increased durability of this new battlesuit. While Ironson's suit withstood a barrage of bolter rounds, chainsword strikes, and even some tank fire, the decreased maneuverability and speed hindered Ironson's performance overall. After the Taros campaign, he was then placed in stasis, until the next time when he saw combat. This was alongside Commander Farsight on the dead world of Arthas Malak. What he saw here shook him to his core. The nightmarish creatures took delight not only in massacring the Tau, but in spilling their blood all over. He stood there in complete and utter confusion. At this moment, Ironson questioned his entire reality. What were these things? Why haven't the Ethereals informed them of these horrors? Is this gonna be the end for him? For the Tau? Is this where he dies? Just then, one of the massive winged beasts was making its way towards him, massive axe in hand, Tau blood oozing from the razor-sharp blades. Despair, fear, and helplessness froze him from within his crisis suit, the emergency signals flashing all around him. The blood-hungry beast raised its axe, ready to claim yet another soul for the god, when then a red blur intercepted the attack. The beast's axe met the force shield of Commander Farsight. Farsight called out to Ironson, trying to snap him out of his funk. Then he fired shot after shot of plasma bolts into the roaring beast's midsection, now leaving 3 gaping holes within. Roaring with both anger and pain, the beast once again swung its axe, this time tearing straight through Farsight's force field and slashing off Shaso Orindra's right arm. The pain freed Ironson from his paralysis, but his XV-89 suit was too slow to react, and an incoming blow from the beast followed through. The punch almost made contact, but Farsight managed to intercept this blow once again. Ironson, retreat! Save as many as you can and retreat. These would be the last words he would hear from his commander, for how could he survive against such horrendous beasts? But to his surprise, Commander Farsight returned. Orindra confessed to Farsight that he had lost faith in him, and also in himself. He had always seen Farsight as a legendary hero, and after encountering these beasts, these monstrosities, his faith in Farsight was gone. I've brought shame upon myself for freezing in battle when my comrades needed me most, when you needed me most. Rise, Ironson. Faith is indeed a powerful force, and we have our own faith, not one in one of us rising to godhood, but in a mutual destiny that cannot be denied. Orindra, I need you to be one of my commanders if we are able to achieve this destiny. These words were exactly what Ironson needed to hear, and since then, he's fought alongside his commander, and he's played a vital role in the beginnings of the creation of the Farsight Enclaves. Now that we know the beginnings of Ironson and what he had to go through, let's find out how you guys can wield the awesome might of this sturdy battlesuit commander. So Commander Ironson is going to be a commander which is piloting an XV-8. This XV-8 has to be upgraded with the XV-8-02 Iridium battlesuit. So that's going to give him that +2 armor save. For his signature system, you can go ahead and give him the Plasma Accelerator Rifle, which increases his plasma rifle range to 30 inch and does 2 damage. On top of this, he's also got 2 missile pods, Again, the plasma rifle that's been upgraded to the accelerator rifle, and a shield generator. His Warlord trait, if you choose him to be your Warlord, is Tenacious Survivor, which is essentially a 6+ feel no pain. So with this loadout, Ironson is a beast. He is a tank. He's got a 2-up save, 5 wounds, toughness 5. He's got the shield generator for a 4+ invulnerable save. And on top of this, if damage does go through, he does have a 6-up feel no pain roll for his Warlord trait. So he's pretty tough to take down. Now, if you guys don't want to give him that plasma rifle upgrade, you could just leave it as a regular plasma rifle, maybe take off one of the missile pods and give him a drone controller. That way he could bring in drones to kind of soak up more wounds for him. Again, this guy will probably not be dying anytime soon, since he is, pretty bulky. Another configuration that I was kind of playing around with Ironson is maybe giving him, I forgot what it's called. I think it's a signature system, that the mirror field, dynamic mirror field. It's basically meaning that anybody shooting at him has to fire at a -1 BS. So Space Marines, I think they hit on 3s, now they're going to be hitting on 4s. And then you're going to go through toughness 5 with a 2-up save, so yeah, it's going to be kind of harder to inflict damage on Ironson.